CFJC Sports and TRU Athletics bring you a peek at this weekend's games with Wolfpack TV.
After a loss and win split for both soccer teams in Alberta and Manitoba last week, the Wolfpack returned to the friendly pitch at Hillside this weekend for a pair of games each. The TRU women hosting Calgary and UNBC. The Wolfpack women to Manitoba last week where they lost 4-0 to the University of Manitoba before scoring their first win 2-1 over the University of Winnipeg-Westman.
I mean, it's great to get a win. You know, they've deserved something out of a couple of different games that we played in. So to get the win was really big, and you know they showed a real character and spirit about them to come back. Because the night before, I thought we didn't give a good account of ourselves.
TRU men are at home to Trinity Western and Fraser Valley, two squads they faced earlier this month with a 1-0 loss at Trinity and an unlucky draw at Fraser Valley, where the Cascades scored in added time to pull out a draw.
Revenge is always a good word. It's personal, you know, like they beat us, they took points off us, and we went away and they did that to us, and now we're at home, we look to do the exact same, you know. We look to beat Trinity, we look to win every game, and we're going to look to beat UV as well.
Just clicking on that day, I think that's kind of the big thing with a lot of the new players we have in the program. We're still trying to find our way, trying to find our identity a little bit, and some days it's there, some days it's not, but hopefully this weekend it is.
Women's soccer will play 5-0-1 Calgary at noon on Saturday and then meet 3-1-2 UNBC Timberwolves Sunday at noon. The men hosting Trinity Western at 2 p.m. Saturday and the same time on Sunday against Fraser Valley. Meanwhile, Wolfpack basketball and volleyball, women's basketball and volleyball and men's volleyball will both play preseason games this weekend.
One angle is for the passing thing, second angle is the
The Wolfpack women's basketball will play its first game under new head coach Goran Nocic. The 47-year-old native of Serbia brings a wealth of international and university experience to the Wolfpack and makes his debut with the team's first preseason game this weekend against UBC.
These first 3 games will be some challenge because one thing is the rhythm of the practice and the other thing is the rhythm of the game.
The Griffins all over the Wolfpack.
Women's volleyball will hit the court for the first time in the preseason. 3 games at the Tournament Capital Center against McEwen Friday morning, UBC Friday at 5 p.m. and then UBCO Saturday morning. Head coach Chad Grimm returns the entire team that made the Canada West playoffs last spring.
In the 5th,
I mean, in our case, where everyone returns, we have added 2 new pieces. So it's just trying to see, you know, where everyone fits and who's made some growth, and you know what lineups we might be able to look at. I mean, injuries come up, things happen, and kind of see what kind of diversity we have within the lineup.
First set and in the second.
And men's volleyball will be on the road for another busy schedule of preseason games in Vancouver and Langley against Canada West opponents. Unlike the veteran-laden women's team, this men's team is a younger group.
They're eager. They're an eager group. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a high potential. Just kind of a nice way of saying that they've got a lot of work to do. So in terms of the coach, it's exciting to know that there's young guys with a high potential, but they are quite unpolished at this point in time. So.
Your TRU Athletics weekend preview is brought to you by CFJC Sports and TRU Athletics.